Hello, this is Ivett with Honey Deep, Honey Wide for this week's episode of Minutes to Insight, where I pull one fortune from all the fortunes that I've written since the last winter solstice and reflect on the message of inspiration that it has for me in this moment. It's been quite hot here in the Pacific Northwest, specifically in Portland, and much of the West, I hear, is going through a heat wave, and there will be more of them. So, sending a lot of prayers out for this whole planet as we gear up to go through the changes that are taking place now and will continue. All right, let's see. Which message for right now? Okay. January 17th of this year. Celebrate your ability to adapt to the rapidly shifting landscape around you. Wow. That's wild. This is actually the third time I'm trying to record this episode today. The first time I pulled one of these fortunes out, and I was like, oh, I already pulled this before. I can't be talking again about the same fortune. It's like, how did this happen? And it totally took me out of the moment. I had to stop again. And then the second time I did the whole episode, and when I went to turn off the recording, I realized I had never turned on the recording. So this is the third installment of this episode, and it is the third fortune that I have pulled. And so I think celebrate your ability to adapt to the rapidly shifting landscape around you is wildly apt. Bravo, bravo, bravo. I'm feeling a cool breeze coming in through the window, and it feels like mercy in the midst of so much heat. Celebrate your ability, get this clear. Celebrate your ability to adapt to the rapidly shifting landscape around you. There. Ooh, I spoke about this a lot too, I think, in the last installment of this episode that didn't record, about how many times I've had to shift since COVID came on the scene beginning of last year. And it's been a lot. There's been a lot of shifting, and I'm in the middle of more shifting. Like, what is my life as it currently exists is about, it's going to be this way for a couple more weeks, and then it'll be shifting again, and then I don't know what's coming next. But I think at this point, I was really realizing that I needed to celebrate my ability to adapt. A lot of times the unknown can feel so overwhelming, and you just ask this question. I asked myself this question, like, where's it all leading to? And that can really stop me. That can make me just feel like I don't know where to go from here. So I have to take it in smaller chunks, always smaller chunks, like what it is that I'm trying to do right now. That's why, even though like the to-do list is always seen as so odious, it's like, oh, I'm a slave to my to-do list. And I often can become a slave to my to-do list. At the same time, when facing the unknown, it's like, hey, there's so much I don't have control over. I don't even know what's coming. I don't even know what's best because I don't know what's coming. There's no way that I could possibly know what's best. And so what am I going to do in this moment? Well, I could get paralyzed. And sometimes I feel that paralysis coming on. And then I'm like, okay, stop. I've already figured out what it is that I can do and what it is, the choice that is at hand. Okay. And I've already made this really groovy to-do list. So please don't try to understand the unknown at this moment. There was another fortune I pulled that said, to court the unknown. Just realize that, I'm just getting to know the unknown. I'm in this like introductory phase with the unknown. So don't try to put the cart in front of the horse. I'm still in a getting to know phase with the unknown. So what I need to do is get in touch with, again, the choices that I have made based on the information that I currently have. I've had to make a choice based on the information I currently have. Okay. And based on that choice, there then was a list of things that it's like, okay, this, and this needs to be taken care of. And that's where the to-do list is. So when I feel overwhelmed by the unknown, there is something very beautiful about the to-do list. And I'll go to it, and it's like, whoa, check out this to-do list. Like, for someone who doesn't know what she's doing, she sure has a terrific to-do list. I'm like, so don't worry. You don't know what you're doing. You don't need to. You can still make an incredible to-do list. And that to-do list will orient you through your days, so much to the point you're going to have to take a step back to embrace the fact that there's more to life than the to-do list. But what I'm saying is the to-do list can be your friend. It can help you to adapt to the fact that this reality that you're living in is shifting right before your eyes. What we thought as normal before is never coming back. And what the new normal is not sticking around for long. The new normal is that we're just going to have to continue to shift, and you have to be really good at it. So what I need to do, and what I suggest you do, is to observe those moments when you are adapting and just say, go you, yay you, you're adapting. And just feel good about it. Like, it's like, yeah, like a month ago, this would have really thrown me off. Or even sometimes it'll be like, yeah, 2 days ago, this totally would have upended me. But now I'm over it. So I think in January, I was coming to this point where I was like, you know what? I have been freaking out a lot about, I don't know what's coming down the pike, and I don't know how to adapt to it. Why don't I just celebrate all the adapting I've done to get to this point? And bringing in that feeling of appreciation for myself is nothing but good. It's nothing but good. It helps to build my resilience, because when I feel appreciated by myself, when I feel proud of myself and respected by myself, my ability to shift with the next change is so much greater. I really start to feel like a competent shifter. It's like, oh yeah, that was like shift 200 in the last 2 weeks. I don't even know how to keep track of all the shifts that I make in the course of a day. I mean, it's just becoming more and more shifting. Like my attachment to things is also changing. It's funny because I do still have a lot of attachments, but I can see them like getting disrupted much more quickly and rapidly now. And I gotta have a lot of love for myself, because I have come to realize that I have attachments to so many things, like people, situations, inanimate objects, ways of taking care of my inanimate objects. Oh my gosh, the relationships I have with my inanimate objects are very special. So what I'm saying is, for somebody like me who has as many attachment issues as I do, to be able to adapt, I gotta be proud. I gotta be so proud. I'm not talking about someone who's super comfortable with total change, because I wouldn't say that I am someone who's been comfortable with change throughout my life. I haven't. In a lot of ways, I think I strike people as a free spirit, because I am in a lot of ways, but I'm also very much like very grounded, earthy girl, and I like to have my systems in place. So what I'm telling you is that you can do this. You may be someone who does not like change, but don't let that fool you. You think maybe that you don't like change, and maybe you haven't liked change, but there's more to you than you give yourself credit for. There is so much more to you. You are infinite. And yeah, you may have your preferences and you may have your attachments, but when the time to change comes, you have the power to shift, and you have the power to let it go, and you have the power to love something new, someone new, some new practice you are able to embrace and realize that this could be the best time of your life. I'm probably very similar to you. I have lots of things I don't want to let go of. I'm not going to let that hold me back. I'll tell you that. And you shouldn't either. Who you were today does not have to be who you are tomorrow. And there's still daylight left in this day. If you want to be somebody else for the rest of the day, go ahead, give it a try, and then see how you like it. Tweak it a little bit tomorrow and make it even better. I guarantee you, if you can celebrate your ability to adapt to this rapidly shifting landscape around you, you're gonna realize that you are a super shifter supreme. Who you are capable of being in this shifting landscape is an unknown, and it's an exciting unknown. It's something I think about myself. I want to know the me that's been shifting all along and who is ready to shift even more. I am excited about that part of me that isn't going to be held down by anything, anyone, and certainly not myself. But see, that's really who you have to contend with, not outside people or circumstances. Those really aren't the ones you need to worry about so much. Yeah, you need to pay attention to them. Don't get me wrong. They can trip you up. But who is it really that is responsible for most of your undoing? All you got to do is look in the mirror and just be really kind about it too. Because even though you are responsible for most of your suffering, you didn't mean to do it like that. There's certain things that were set up that made it kind of impossible for you to do otherwise. But you can change that today. You can adapt. And part of what this constantly shifting landscape is so good at is giving you the opportunity to adapt and to know yourself anew. It's not so easy anymore to hide behind who you think you are. That's just not going to cut it. Not at all. So God bless you. God bless me. I hope we all get together and party and celebrate our newfound abilities to adapt to this constantly shifting landscape around us. Stay cool, stay grounded, and don't lose your vision. And if it's hard for you to have vision right now, well, you just look at your nearest mountain and you start climbing. You'll be sure to get a good viewpoint in no time at all. Namaste.